The only reason this trade could be invalid is if price is able to clear these highs, okay? But if it has to clear that highs, give us a pullback retrace to the upside. But it's at my office right here. Welcome back to our weekly market focus for the second week of March, for the 10th and to the 14th of March. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into the business of the day. But if you're new here to this channel, please do have to smash that subscribe button, like, share, and make sure to drop a comment on the comment section, and do well to watch the video to the end, because we give free FOREX signals here, and we decipher the market to your understanding. All right, so let's move on. So here on gold, we are starting off with gold. On the weekly time frame, we can see how the weekly time frame actually closed for last week, which was this bearish candle right about here. And for this week, we can see, or for the previous week too, we could see how price also closed with this green candle, green bar there. So we decipher back to for our daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we can see that we have sort more like a range, all right about here, like 3 to 4 days of ranges on gold. So this means price has been ranging for days. So let's go to the 4 hours to see the best possible entries. And also, before we go to the 4 hours time frame, you can see there on the daily time frames, our price is creating something like a chart pattern. All right, if you are one of my mentees or you are frequent person on our mentorship or our free classes which we hold on the Zoom or on the Telegram group, okay, you know what this means, which is more like a divergence. Let me pull it up for you guys to see. You see price is going to the upside, while the RSI, in which I used to spot the divergence, is going to the downside. So if you are my mentee or you follow me real good, you know what that means. Okay, so let's go to the 4 hour time frame to look at the best possible areas to take trade calls from. Okay, so practically we can see price is on the range. Price has been on the range for like I said, for 3 days since price market open. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a two-way scenario of things. Okay, so for the bullish side of things, we will be looking at price to break here, retest, and push continuations to the upsides. All right, and why are we doing this? Because when there are ranges, we trade ranges as we are open to trading ranges. We have a ranging strategy in which to trade, so it doesn't matter whichever directional bias in which price breaks out, we work with that. Okay, but whichever way, we know how to enter and how to exit. So for the bearish sides, which I would favor the bearish side, if I'm to choose which side I'm favoring, I would favor the bearish side of things. So I would love price to break, create a new lower low, which is lower than this low, which is also more like a minor area of interest right about here, and we'll be targeting our next 2841 ounce, okay, all the way to the downside. So you guys should really have your eyes on gold and do well to mark it out on your PC or your device of trading. So up next is BTC. I would prefer price to happen that way, is a retest of these zones, creating a new higher high. Then we should be looking at price going back to 91k. Okay, so I would love price to give us a break retest, then going back to 91k, then before price will give us that actual bearish drop to the downside. So welcome to BTC. So as for last week, price was somewhere around here. For last week, you can see how I predicted price to give us that break, that retest, and a push continuations to the upsides, which that also happened into precision, and a lot of people also made money. And also in the process, I also sent these bearish signals, which gave us a kind of setups with, you can see, with a very minimal stop loss, and I shared it on the free Telegram community for you guys to also make money from, which a lot of people also made money from this. So this should show you that trading strategy does not just work on only currency pairs, but it also work on cryptocurrencies, anything that has a chart and is tradable. So which I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video for you guys to see the before and the after. And also we had price giving us that nice bearishness, and this was also a very good 1:3 kind of trade. So we risked 1 to make 3 and more. Okay, so we also had price pullback at the time and still reacting off the 91 area in which we were looking for before price started dropping again. And also I'm currently on a trade on BTC itself. Again, earlier this morning, all the way, very nice stop loss. This meets our A setup. If you look inside here, you see what price is trying to form right about there, which is more like head and shoulders right about there. And so this was the break, the retest. This was the break and the retest of that head and shoulders, and we are looking at price to come all the way to our first level target, which is the 81k, before we could look at 78k all the way to the downsides. Like I said, I'm very much on these trades and I'm all bearish all the way to the downsides. So if you're seeing this, whenever you're seeing it and price is still very much around these zones, you can look for a break, which that break has happened, maybe a little pullback which may weak inside here and a drop all the way to this 81k, then you can go as deep as 78k. So that's it for BTC, and up next is Euro USD. So for Euro USD, we can see as at last week, price was somewhere around here. Okay, price was somewhere around here. We were looking for price to continue to the downside for either these zones or these zones. Okay, but since we are very much bearish on this due to price action and price structure, you guys know I'm a structural kind of trader. I trade what I see, not what I think. Okay, so on seeing price not giving us our entry setups here nor here, it's also helped us to avoid some kind sort of losses in the market. So we did not have any sell trades on the USDJPY as at last week. So when I saw price breaking out of these highs, okay, breaking out of that high right about there, I was interested in taking the buys. I knew that the trend has changed. Okay, but we did not just use only this to take the trading confirmations. We had other confirmations in which we took, and these trades were also being sent out on the community for people to make money. This was a good 1:3.5 all the way to the upsides, and since then we have been having some nice bullishness to the upsides. And price is currently on an area of interest right about here, like you guys can see, and the same thing I just showed you guys on gold. Price is giving us something more like a divergence. So how do we trade divergence? We should wait for structural break of structural lows, a retest, and a push continuations to the downside. But mind you, for me, I'm already inside this trade since NFP right about since last week. So I've been held in. I had my stops from NFP all the right about here to the upside. So I'm still looking for a price to splash all the way to the downsides on here. And also this was taken on the minutes time frame. If you know my trading strategy or you are my mentee, you know how I was able to decipher this trade on the minutes time frame, and we had that small bearishness which is almost close to 1:1. So we are looking for price for the coming weeks, okay, on Euro USD without taking much of your time. Okay, so we are looking for price to continue bearish to the downsides, but first it's very important to wait for price to give us a break of structural lows, okay, a retest there and a push continuations to the downsides. Okay, so our first level target, very important, should be 1.06734. Then we can go to our 1.06004, and we can go as deep as this. Okay, so we are looking at over 300 pips drop. Okay, we can see here. So the first level will give us 164-65 pips drop, and we should be looking at overall a 320 pips drop all the way to the downside. So mark out these levels. You can pause the video, mark these levels just like I have on my PC, and do same to yours. Okay, so that's it for Euro USD. Up next is GDP USD. For GDP USD, we can see how GDP USD also said almost same thing with the Euro USD for last week. We did not have sell trades, we did not send sell trades, though. Moreover, during the weekly market analysis, I spoke about the bearish side because we only trade what price is showing us at the time. Price action wise, price was very much bearish, okay, but over time, and when market opened by Monday, we understood that price had changed its dynamics to a bullish trend, which was a break of structures all about here, higher than that high. So I saw this happening, so I had to make a free Zoom call on the general Telegram group, okay, so which everybody had to join. Then I had to keep them abreast on the new on the new change of price. Okay, so that because during the YouTube videos, at the time price was very much bearish. Okay, so that's one good thing about our strategy or our own trading. Okay, to be a good trader, you have to be flexible in taking your trade entries, and your strategy should more like work no matter the trend, be it a bearish trend or a bullish trend or a ranging market, which our kind of trading style covers all of this. So I had to set up a free Zoom call for everybody on the general group, which I had to show them that price has changed dynamics. So we are looking forward for price to be bullish other than bearish. Okay, so which also signals were also being sent, which I'm going to add somewhere around in this video. All right, so price has been very much bullish since then. So for now, nothing very different. We're looking for a change in market structure like so, and so we are looking for, all we just have to do is be patient for price to clear these lows. Okay, retest there and push continuations to the downsides. I could put something like a ticker. I could put a ticker green bar there. All right, a ticker green bar there, and we should be looking for that break, that retest to the downsides. Okay, so for the bullish sides, I'll be giving you guys two scenarios. So the bullish side of things, I'll put a bar here because there's still possibilities for price to continue bullish. Okay, to break here, retest and push continuations to the 1.3035 area to the upsides. Okay, so mark this out on your phone, your PC. All right, and also if price has to go bearish, we are looking at over 200 pips drop, guys. A 200 pips drop on GBPUSD. So this is a lot of pips that you shouldn't be messing around. Okay, up next is the DXY. For the DXY, we can see price has been on a very nice bearish trend. Price gave us this head and shoulders, which I spoke about during our free call. During the free call, this was the breakout retest I was speaking about. I had to set a free call when I saw price had changed its dynamics on Monday on the Telegram group. I had to show them that we are looking to the bearish side of things, and price thereafter went all the way bearish. So we are seeing how price is dropping all the way to the downside. So, and also if you look at the weekly time frame, there's something I had here on the weekly time frame, which was this green bar. Right, if you observe last week's video, you see that green bar there, which I was also particular about price could most likely react from these two little green bars from there. And I also sent this beforehand. If you are my mentee, this is a very nice A setup, okay, that I was showing them beforehand, that price would most likely continue dropping to the 102 area or the 103 area, which price thereafter did. Okay, so going back to our hourly time frame, where is the next level target and how best can we utilize this? Okay, so looking at the 4-hour time frame, I've been anticipating, so seeing price giving us series of lows, but when price came close to this area of interest, it has been consolidating, okay, to the downside. Okay, the pressure of price has been shifting structures and giving us more of sellers and buyers are trying to find their way around this area because price is on a zone. Okay, so what I have to do in this case, I'll keep expanding or extending this. So I'll give you guys a two-way scenarios of things. So let's look at the bullish side of things first. All right, for the bullish side of things, I'll be looking for price to break these highs, retest there, and first level very important, okay, because price could reverse in any of these levels. Should be looking at price going to 105 area, then we can see price going to 106, as high as 106, right, to the upsides. And for the bearish sides, we don't have to overlook the bearish sides too, because price may decide to continue bearish. Okay, so for the bearish side of things, if price is able to break here, retest and push continuation, first level 102, and we can go as deep as a 101 area. But mind you, if price has to continue to the upside here, know that what we are trading for the bullish side is just a pullback. Okay, it's actually a retracement, not the actual trend. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're looking out on the DXY. All right, so up next is AUDUSD. AUDUSD, we can see for last week how price actually closed for last week, and I was looking for more like a push to this area as maybe a drop, but we had that nice push. First trades we took, we closed at the 1:1.5 hour, okay, before this pullback had to come. And the second trade, I also took it all the way to the upside. So AUDUSD was also a very nice trade that we took, which I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video. So moving forward for this coming weeks, where is our best level target? Okay, I'll give you guys a two-way scenarios where price is currently seated. Okay, these areas in which price is currently seated is a very strong area of interest. Okay, so this is also a determining factor for price movement for next week. Okay, but you have to be careful on AUDUSD. For the bullish side, price looks very much okay right about now for the bullish side of things. Okay, so price could continue flying from here all the way to first level target, the 100% retracement level, which is a 0.635, and we can go as deep as 0.639. okay, for the bullish sides. And for the bearish sides, which I'm looking forward to that too, if price is able to clear these lows. All right, mind you, a 15 minutes break and retest and 1 hour break and retest, you don't necessarily have to wait for that of the 4-hour confirmations. If price is able to clear these lows too, you should be looking at a massive drop of to 0.6183 to the downside. Okay, so do well to mark these levels on your phone, your PC, on AUDUSD. All right, up next is NZDUSD. Well, nothing different from what also happened on the AUDUSD. So NZDUSD, we had almost same structures. Okay, but we had a very nice trade, very nice stop loss, 20 pips stops, and we went for a very nice 1:3 all the way to the upside, like you guys can see, which I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video. Signals were also being sent. So that's why I said, if you are not on a free Telegram community, click on the link on the description to join, because we send free profitable signals right about there, and we host free live sessions too during the week. Okay, so moving forward for this coming week, okay, nothing much. We should be looking for price most likely starting to go bullish from here. Okay, then we target our first level target, which is at 0.574. then we can go as high as at 0.577 to the upside. But in the case that we have price coming all the way back to the downsides, we should be waiting for a break, a retest, a lower time frame break and retest of that zone, 15 minutes, 1 hour. Then we go for our first level target, which is 0.564. then we can go as deep as 0.559. okay, so that's it for NZDUSD. Last but not the least, USDJPY. For USDJPY, let's look at how price also closed on the weekly time frame, which is very important. Okay, same thing that happened on DXY. I saw price was on also reacting off these zones on my weekly time frame. So this zone is most likely my weekly area of interest. So I also was skeptical for price to drop all the way to the downside from this area. So going back to our daily time frame, let's see how Friday candle closed. Okay, as you can see how Friday candle actually closed, right, is more like a cause for concern with that hammer, doji, shooting star, whatever kind of candle you may call it. All right, so we go to our 4-hour time frames. Okay, so on our hourly time frame here, we can see that, yeah, for last week it was very important that we look at what we did last week too. For last week, we had some very nice trades that we took right about here, right about there. To give us, so that's why patience is a virtue. Okay, that's why patience is a virtue most times. So this would have been an avoidable loss. Okay, but it is what it is. Sometimes we break our rules too. Okay, so price later gave us that deep pull back into that area, reacting off this other area. So this all actually made our kind of A setups, which I had to wait for everything to occur. You can even see where I had to take that trade sales from there, not even from here, because I was very conservative with that trade. So thereafter we had two winning trades all the way to the downside. We would have had a third winning trade, but man, I had already made enough money for the week, so we had to close the markets beforehand so that we don't end up losing some of it back to the markets. Okay, So we had our entry setups there, and price has been bearish all the way since then. So where is our next level target, and how can we utilize this week? So I'll expand these zones. Okay, so for the bearish side of things, price could come back into this area somewhere around where it's currently is. Okay, retest and it goes to around 4.6 area. Okay, to the downside, but to the this level of the 149. Okay, the 149, then a